These are 5 uncommon things that you need to know about a narcissist. Firstly, a narcissist hates falling asleep. This stems from their desperate need of being in control of everything around them, but the state of being unconscious during sleep represents a period of vulnerability through which they are not in charge of everything that's going on around them. The scripture says, "To the righteous God gives sweet sleep." It also says, "There's no rest for the wicked." This is, by extension, a punishment that God extends upon a narcissistic creature because of their evil. This hate for being asleep is also projected onto everyone who is around the narcissist. And you will realize that if you're asleep in the presence of a narcissist, they have a tendency to disrupt that sleep. Whether they'll have to bang something, whether they'll have to force you to wake up, whether they'll need to make noise to cause you to rouse up from your sleep, they cannot be able to stand the amount of peace they can see you experiencing in such quote unquote vulnerable states. Therefore, they despise you for sleeping. They despise the peace that they see on your face. They will notice it. They might even point it out. Oh, how peaceful you appear to be when you're sleeping. And then they will act as if it's a very wrong thing that you're resting. Because for them, even a period of rest does not represent any form of rest. The second thing is that they hate peace. Narcissists thrive on chaos. Anytime there's peace in the presence of a narcissist, they are suffocating, literally. Narcissists are energy vampires. They literally cannot survive in an environment that is not chaotic. A narcissist cannot be able to regulate himself. He depends on the dysregulation of others to be able to regulate himself. And if there's no chaos in such an environment, they sure will be the ones to cause it. Thirdly, narcissists fear and hate painlessness. When I was growing up, because I grew up in a narcissistic home, my father was a narcissist. And one way he used to ensure that there was always pain in the house from the time I was a kid was by how he used to mistreat pets around. And I used to wonder to myself, why is my dad so rude to animals? Because we had a farm. He used to starve the cows, he used to starve the dogs. And then when the cat would get pregnant and have kittens, he would force my big brother and I to go and kill those kittens. And he would give us specific instructions on how we should kill them. Remember, I was like 3 years old. And he would tell us to put them in a sack, and he would force us to bang them on the ground till they were all dead. And so when I was about, I think, 7 years old, and mind you, he knew how much I loved cats. He knew how much I loved these pets. I used to even sleep with them on my bed. But when a narcissist is in action, so to speak, he identifies such an example or such a situation as a possible supply because he causes pain through it. If he forces you to kill your cat, if he causes you to kill your favorite pets, he knows the amount of pain it's causing you and the amount of damage it's doing to such a young boy, just as much as it is doing to the animals in question. And so as I was saying, when I was about 7 years old, I realized that there's nothing I can tell my dad to convince him to stop killing these cats and to stop forcing us to do it. I asked him, if these cats are so much of a problem that you cannot, because you complain that you cannot afford to keep them, you cannot afford to raise them, so we must kill them. And then you force us to do it, even after we refuse. Why not get a veterinary doctor to inject this cat so that it can't have babies anymore or kittens anymore? Of course, at that time, I didn't know what abuse was. I was just a child. I didn't know what narcissism was. I didn't know what abuse was. I'm just saying things based on the law of God written in my heart, so to speak. And the day he started to realize that I'm picking up on his need to thrive on torture and pain and distraction, that was the day he marked me as a black sheep. That's a story for another day. I can give you more details. You will see it in pets, with the way they treat pets. You will see it with the way they treat their servants or their workers. You will see it in the way they treat their colleagues. Any situation they can use to bring pain out of is what they use to thrive off. And in whichever way they can cause pain while still managing to get away with it, they will do it. The fourth thing that narcissists hate is the truth. They thrive on lies. Jesus said in the word, you shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free. But with a narcissist in the picture, lies must reign supreme. The reason they hate the truth is that they know it will bring freedom in that situation, which is totally unacceptable to a narcissist, because to a narcissist, the dynamic is a parental or a slave's master dynamic between you two. And anytime you have access to the truth, is a time where you are able to unravel the lies that they have used to put you in your place. They lie through gaslighting. They lie through love bombing you. They lie through telling you things that are not true, through promises that they intend not to keep. They lie by destroying the reputations of others falsely. They lie by creating an impression of perfection or superiority, while deep down they are fickle and cowardly. They lie by presenting themselves as brave, as courageous, as strong. And so anytime the truth comes to bear, they know that it will catch up to them. They'll take away your voice because your voice is the voice of truth. It also means that if you give the example of the freedom that comes with walking in truth, other people will start to adopt a lifestyle of truth. People will start to see that truth is possible and that they do not need to stifle authenticity in their lives. The narcissist knows that this will inevitably cause them to lose control over the masses they have strung along. Lastly, they despise equal conversation. If a narcissist cannot control, cannot defeat, cannot dominate you even in a conversation, and if especially you seem or appear to be superior to them in the things that you're saying, in the clarity that you give, and in the lies that you're able to expose or see through, the narcissist will either destroy you, and if not, they will get out of that environment and go and look for someone who looks like an easier target to dominate. A narcissist hates a conversation they cannot control, because that means they cannot be able to create a superior impression with the person in question. And so you will see them trying to one-up you, even in conversations. Narcissists are very fond of looking for loopholes, even in grammar, during casual conversation. If you make a grammatical mistake, and it's not an exam, they'll be the first one to correct you, whether privately or publicly. Just a misstep, just a misspelling, just a grammatical error, and they start dwelling on that issue. Is this spelling correct? Are you supposed to correct? Is this plural or is this singular? If you see yourself dealing with people who seem to notice during casual conversations loopholes in grammar, errors in speech, and not in the content really of the message, but in the grammatical aspect of the language, yet this is in a casual space, you're probably talking to a narcissist. Narcissists hate sleeping. Narcissists hate painlessness. Narcissists hate peace. Narcissists hate truth. Narcissists hate a situation they cannot dominate. Please subscribe to the channel. As always, thank you for joining me. Have a good one.